Welcome back to the Guides Network, guys. Today we're going to cover a topic that can help you put some fish in the boat that gets somewhat overlooked. Not that many people really take advantage of this pattern, and we're going to talk about post-spawn square billing. Post-spawn square billing. Basically, this is going to pertain to the two bait spawns, the brim or bluegill spawn and the shad spawn. Right now we got shad spawn going on fork, so I'm using the shad pattern bait that I'll show you here in a minute. But it works, the same pattern works on when the brim start bedding up as well. Last year we got on real good on the brim spawn. I'm going to go ahead and apologize right now about the audio. It is insanely windy, as you can tell, and I'm going to try and speak up. Hopefully this audio comes out okay. To get us started just on some of the different square bills that I'll throw, the main thing is it's going to be all dependent on which bait spawn I'm teeing in on. Shad spawn, obviously we want a silver or a white or a grayish type of color, something to, you know, imitate a shad. This is one with a like gold chrome deal. I would use this on a really bright day like what we have right now. And then for the brim spawn, this is a good bluegill pattern. This is, this is the Crush 50X square bill by 6 cents. Great square bill. Awesome hooks, runs true, hunts real good. Just a great little square bill. This is the Excite Baits XB1 square bill, and that's one of their bluegill patterns or whatever. I do use the 6 cents bluegill patterns as well. I just want to show you guys a few different brands that I use. So the Excite XB1 square bill, they make a really good square bill as well. And then I also like to go to the larger sizes. This is a Strike King 2.5. This is a bigger, you can see the difference in size here. That's quite a bit bigger than your typical square bill. This I would use more around the brim spawns. I don't even know what this was called, like lime brim or something, some lime color. Saw it on a Mark Zona show and I bought it, so I guess fishing shows work, but I've caught some fish on that color. I have their bluegill color as well, and of course their shad pattern. And then here's the one that we've really been using a lot here lately. You guys have probably seen a couple videos with it in there. This is the Movement 6 cents Movement L7 square bill, and this is the Shad Glow color. That's the one we've been using, Shad Glow. It's oversized as well in comparison to a regular square bill. It's got the same body as that Movement 80X does, but with that square bill it's got a different wobble, a tighter wobble. It's a lot more subtle bait, and we've got a post frontal day today, and on those post frontal days, you know, that subtle kick that this one has been consistently putting fish in the boat for me on days when a lot of people are struggling. So that Movement L7 is a great tool to have. As far as gear, you know, on these square bills, I'm going to go with something in the medium heavy range. I want some tip. Anytime I'm throwing a bait that's got treble hooks on it, I want to have pretty flexible. I want to be able to have some give there, a little bit of forgiveness. You know, the hook point that actually sticks into the fish, if you only got one of them in there, is very small. You can rip it out if you got too big of a rod. So for that reason, like this is a 610 medium heavy. I'll throw it on a 7.2 medium heavy, 7-foot medium heavy, something in the 7-foot range medium heavy, and then 15-pound fluorocarbon is the line that I like to use. I use a medium gear reel. Keep it pretty simple on that. I can speed it up or slow it down. with my gear ratio in the middle, it makes it easier for me to go up or down. For the types of areas, you know, we talked about this in the shad spawn deal last week at length, so I won't go too far into it. But the shad are typically going to spawn on wind-blown clay points. If you've got shell bed or gravel mixed in with that clay, that's a bonus. And then the other places the shad will spawn will be on the grass flats in the back of your creeks, around the creek channel beds and stuff like that. They'll pull up out of that creek and spawn on the grass flat. That's kind of the two locations that I'm looking for. If I'm going to fish the grass spawn, the grass shad spawn, then I'm going to go to the backs of grassy pockets. And what we've been doing lately is fishing the main lake and secondary points that are wind blown, looking for birds on them such as that. On the brim are going to bed basically in the same exact place that the largemouth bed most of the time. Usually it will be right in the same area. Like, they'll be messing with the largemouth while they're on their beds, and then when that's done, they'll slide right down the bank just a little ways and set their bed up too. So, you know, our flatter pockets, our flatter areas with good hard bottom content, those are the top areas we want to look for the bluegill spawn. On that deal, the wind is a plus as well. Anytime I'm throwing a moving bait, I feel like wind is a good thing. Unless it's, you know, pre-spawn and we're going on warming trends, and I want it to be slick calm that lets that water get warmer. But for this deal, post-spawn, chucking and winding that crankbait, man, I want that bank or that point, wherever I'm fishing, I want it to be real windy, which is not a problem today, as you can hear. All right, so now let's talk about our retrieve for a square bill. You know, it's a pretty simple deal, but there's a couple little tricks that I'm going to show you guys that may help you guys get a few more bites on the square bill. One is, if you're fishing that grass flat, okay, watch my hands here. If I'm fishing grass, I want to hold that rod at that 10 o'clock position. You guys have heard me talk about the 10 o'clock position before with grass. It just gives you more leverage to rip the bait out of the grass. So if you'll catch that square bill early, right when you first start filling that grass load up, and if you snatch it and then rip your reel handle at the same time, it'll pop right out of that grass. Mr. John Tanner taught me that's a pretty cool trick, adding that little reel snap in there with it, and get that square bill to rip up out of that grass real quick. You get a lot of bites that way. I got my square bill going, I'm reeling along back at the 10 o'clock position. As soon as the minute I start to feel that grass load, I'm going to pull and rip. Pull and rip. So I'm just going to snap and rip that handle around. You do that, and a lot of times that thing will shoot right up out of that grass, and that's when you get a big bite. That's when your reaction bites like that are typically going to be your biggest fish. Okay, for the clay points and the shell and the wind-blown areas, the wind-blown points that we're talking about, the biggest trick for that is this. To me, I want that bait to get down as far as it can. So when I'm putting that rod down, getting that bait down, crank it, get it down, when I feel that bottom, I want to do what I call walking that bait. I like to walk my crankbait when it's on the bottom. I'm really going to slow down. As soon as I start feeling it bump that clay, I really want to slow my retrieve down, and I almost want to feel that bait just hit that clay over and over and over again. But what's happening is that bait's down on the bottom, and it'll bounce and stop, and then bounce and stop, and then bounce and stop. And that little hesitation of you slowing that thing down, a lot of times that's what gets your bite. It's just something else to make those fish. My goodness, ridiculous. This is incredible. But that's just another way that you can make those fish, you know, kind of force them into a decision. They're watching that bait, and when it bounces, that makes them make a decision one way or the other. Gets you a lot of reaction bites, and like we said, a lot of times those reaction bites are going to be your biggest bites that you'll get. So try those retrieve tips out. I bet that helps you put a couple more fish in the boat. Alright guys, that's basically it for square bill cranking in the post spawn. Hopefully this video will help you find some extra fish. Like I said, not a lot of people do this. Not a lot of people go targeting those bait spawns with these crankbaits. The shad spawn a lot of people do, but the bluegill spawn is kind of one that really gets overlooked. So check that out. Be sure and get you some of those movement L7s. Try them out. I guarantee you'll like them. Awesome paint jobs, awesome hooks, great bait. Been catching a lot of fish for us lately. Also guys, be sure if you haven't already, come see me at bassbug.com. Y'all are seeing that awesome commercial at the beginning of the videos every once in a while. Man, it's a great website. The guy who owns it, he's a great guy. It's being run the right way. And some interesting characters have joined up. We're having a lot of fun in there talking about hunting and fishing. So if you want a place where you can bounce ideas off each other, ask questions, maybe just sit back and watch and learn and listen, check out bassbuck.com. Great outdoors forum site. Come see me. I'm in there all the time. Hit me up over there. Well, I guess that's it. I really appreciate you guys watching the channel as always. Go ahead and tell your buddies about it, man. Tell them about the information we're sharing, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to grow here on this channel. I know all you guys that are watching it really get it, and I can't tell you how much it means when I hear from all y'all out there. You tell me how it helped you, or maybe something you learned on the video helps you catch a new personal best. Always love to hear that kind of stuff. So once again, thanks for watching Your Lake Fork Guide channel. Appreciate you guys watching the Guides Network episodes, and we will see you next time right here on Your Lake Fork Guide. That's how you get one where they won't come off right there, boys. I shouldn't be this happy, but I'm so happy right now. We got a feeling now. I'm not a big enough here. Oh, God dang it, man! God dang it, man! Oh.